Welcome back to Wealthy Business, the channel where finance meets global news and strategic thinking. Today's story isn't just a war update. It's a look at real-time diplomacy, strategic messaging, and geopolitical leverage between Russia, Ukraine, and the global powers circling the conflict. Let's dive in. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a temporary ceasefire in Ukraine starting Saturday evening, citing humanitarian reasons tied to the Orthodox Easter holiday. The ceasefire was declared to run from 6 p.m. Moscow time on Saturday until midnight Sunday. In a publicized meeting with his top military commander, Valery Gerasimov, Putin said, "We assume that the Ukrainian side will follow our example, but our troops must be ready to repel violations," said President Vladimir Putin. Now let's be honest, this isn't the first time Putin has made a so-called humanitarian gesture. Remember January 2023? He called for a Christmas ceasefire. That turned out to be a strategic move to regroup and strike again. This time, Ukraine isn't buying it either. President Volodymyr Zelensky responded bluntly on X, formerly known as Twitter. Zelensky once said, "Putin is playing with human lives. As he talks of peace, Russian drones are attacking our cities." At 5:15 p.m., while Putin was speaking of peace, Ukrainian defense systems were actively intercepting Shahed drones, a clear contradiction to the so-called truce. Amid this ceasefire, something very real happened. The largest prisoner exchange since the war began. Russia claims it retrieved 246 soldiers, while Ukraine confirmed the return of 277 warriors. This swap also included wounded POWs on both sides, brokered with the mediation of the United Arab Emirates. Was the ceasefire just a cover for this? Possibly. But in geopolitics, gestures matter, and this could be part of back-channel negotiations. This comes right after former U.S. President Donald Trump said the Russia-Ukraine talks are coming to a head. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned that the U.S. may move on if peace negotiations stall again. Translation? The U.S. is signaling it might soon shift its strategy or reduce support, a potential turning point that both Kyiv and Moscow are likely watching closely. Back on the battlefield, Russia claims a significant victory in the Kursk region, pushing Ukrainian troops out of 1,260 square kilometers. That's 99.5% of the territory Russia says was invaded. One town remains, Gornal, where intense fighting continues. This matters because Kursk is within Russia's internationally recognized borders, so Ukraine's presence there is highly symbolic, and possibly a negotiating chip Kyiv no longer holds. While peace is on the table, the war in the skies continues. Overnight into Saturday, Russia reportedly launched 87 drones in a massive wave of attacks across Ukraine. Ukraine's Air Force says 33 were intercepted, and another 36 jammed electronically. The rest, damage reports include fires in Odessa and Sumy. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry claims it shot down 2 Ukrainian drones. Strategic takeaways for investors and global thinkers. So, what can we learn from this? 1. Ceasefires can be strategic tools, not genuine peace efforts. Always look at actions, not just words. 2. Prisoner swaps signal pressure. Both sides might be preparing for deeper negotiations or trying to win public support. 3. Markets respond to de-escalation signals. Even a temporary truce can affect oil prices, defense stocks, and geopolitical risk indexes. 4. Drone warfare and air defense tech are now central. This conflict is a testing ground for 21st century military strategy, and the companies behind it. Let us know in the comments, is Putin serious about peace, or is this just another strategic distraction? And how do you think this will affect Europe, the US, and global markets? If you enjoyed this analysis, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a video from Wealthy Business, your hub for finance, strategy, and global news. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and as always, stay wealthy.